Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're about to get locked up. Do not. Back away from the board. Back away from the boards. Back away from the boards. You will get in trouble. Come on now. Stop! Get away from my boards. Get away. Ugh, you guys are obsessed with me. Come on. We're all going. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. You guys are messing up my... Yeah? Come on. Come on. Locked up. Fall came rushing in this year, to say the least. I feel like the older I get, the faster time passes before me. With that, I'm learning how to utilize and appreciate my time more. The job I had over the summer allowed for me to work full-time over 4 days, giving me 3 days off a week. I have to admit, I took a lot of naps this summer, but I also got a lot of projects done that I'm excited to share with you. Last October, I bought land, and in February, I moved into my father's house, which just so happens to be right next to the land. I spent the winter dreaming of all of the things I was going to do with my land. But before we get into what I've been up to this summer, I want to rewind 2 years ago to when I moved home from college into my parents' home with 8 siblings and no clue what I was gonna do and feeling very lost in life. I sat down with my parents at the table and they were just like, "What do you want to do?" And all I could tell them was, I just want to be happy. I just want to dance in the woods all day long and do the things that I want to do, the things that I don't feel like I have time to do now. And I want to express myself creatively, and I felt like I couldn't do any of these things. But my parents, they took it upon themselves and they thought of ways that I could do this. They thought it was a phase. So they offered the option of foregoing my student loans and putting it to the side for a little while, and how I could maybe sell my car and stop paying for car insurance so that I could live this dream of mine, because they thought it was a phase, that I just needed to go live in the woods for a little bit and I would get it out of my system and I would be happy, and then I could maybe get a job and, you know, move on with my life. But it was a dream that I was not going to give up very quickly. And I have to tell you, if you have a dream and you decide to live that dream every single day, it will happen. Now, 2 years seems like a long time to wait, but if you work at it every single day, those 2 years flew by, and I am now living my dream of living in the woods and gardening and doing the things that I thought I didn't have the time to do. So I just want you to know that if you do have a dream and you work at it every single day of your life, it will come, and it will come quickly. Now, when I lived in my parents' house 2 years ago, I dreamed of living in the woods, and so I got out into the woods every second I could. I would go do yoga in the woods and meditate in the woods, and my siblings thought I was so crazy, but they didn't know I was just living my dream. And now that I have woods of my own, they come over and they're so excited for me, and now they want woods and they want to be farmers, and it feels good to be the older sibling, to actually be doing something she wants and to give them the opportunity to know that they can do what they want, because life isn't so cut and crease. It isn't. It's not go to college, get a job, you know, retire. It's so much more than that, and that is the message I want you to get today. As soon as spring came, I began the many projects that I had dreamed over the winter. But my main project this year was definitely getting my garden up and running. I have to say the gardening project was very discouraging, and it all started with a weed whacker. I'm not quitting yet. Woo! Ready? So it's the next day, and I've watched some YouTube videos, thank goodness for YouTube. And for starters, I need to fill it with gas because it was empty. And I did learn a cool trick that when I do go to pull the starter, you know, this thing, to also hold and engage the, I guess it's like the rev, you know, how you rev your engine. Actually, I think the most discouraging part of my garden this year was watering it. And that's because it was just such a dry year. I was expecting to utilize the rain a lot more, not only to feed my garden at least once or twice a week, but to also fill my watering cans that I had set out to collect rainwater and to use that for my garden. But the rain never came, and so what I ended up doing was I would take my little green wagon and I'd bring a bunch of plastic jugs, like gallon plastic jugs, and I'd bring it to a watering hole up the street. Well, that only worked for so long because the watering hole ended up drying up too. So while the watering hole was there, it would take me about 2.5 to 3 hours to do a few trips back and forth to the watering hole to fill these gallon jugs and to feed my garden. Well, like I said, it only lasted for so long, so towards the end of the year, I just completely quit watering my garden, and thankfully it made it. Things are doing really good, but man, it was just, I would come home from work and I'd be like, man, it was just such a hot day. I'm so drained, and I know that garden needs water, and I know it's gonna take me 2.5 to 3 hours to water it, and man, that would be the hardest thing to do. A mushroom! A mushroom in my poop! That's pretty cool. in all, I'm really happy how my garden turned out, and I'm really excited for next year because I have so many more ideas and I know how to make things a lot better than they were this year, and that's all. I'm excited to keep growing and learning and living the dream. So, until next time. I got you. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I got you. Let's just show the people. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Come here. The people want to see Froggo, little Froggo. Okay, you can go. Babies, it's okay. It's okay, it's just a frog. It's just a frog. No, you can't eat the frog. Babies. Quick, run away before my chicken gets you. Babies, no frog.